Good afternoon and happy Friday. Thank you all for joining us today for our very first sponsor exhibitor webinar for the 2016 HR Florida Conference and Expo. This is our first year doing webinars before the conference, and I have to say they've been very popular so far, and we certainly appreciate you joining us today. This is Heather Dario. I'm honored to be serving as the conference director for this year's event. And I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting HR Florida. This event would not be possible without your thought leadership and the wonderful products and services that you'll be presenting inside the Expo Hall. We had our attendee webinar earlier this morning, and I have to tell you it's a very engaged, excited group. So we are going to have a wonderful event this year. A couple of housekeeping notes before we get started. Right now, we do have everyone muted to cut down on the background noise. However, there are 3 different ways that you can participate throughout the webinar. You can raise your virtual hand inside of the GoToWebinar control panel. Also, you'll see the question area about halfway through that control panel where you can submit questions throughout the presentation. Those are done privately to the organizers. Or the chat feature down at the bottom. You can type your questions there as well. Most likely, if you have that question, someone else does too. And I'll go ahead and turn things over to the wonderful Roger Lear, who is serving as your sponsor chair for this year and many, many years. And I'll continue to monitor the questions and chat feature as we go through the presentation. Welcome, everyone.
Good afternoon. How is everybody doing? I know you can't answer me back, but I'm sure you're doing well. It's Friday afternoon, and this conference is just sneaking up on us. So what we're going to try to do today is just briefly go through a bunch of stuff that's going on at the conference, and also any impending questions that you guys have, just go ahead and use one of those methods to let us know what your question is, and we'll certainly get those answered for you. But the hotel is awesome at Hilton Bonnet Creek. The facilities have been fantastic for the last few years for us, and we're very excited about getting back there. Hopefully you all made your hotel reservations, and you can do that via the website. For a lot of the stuff for checking in the hotels and stuff like that, it's all on the website. I'm not going to necessarily spend too much time with that. The big things for you guys to know is the setup in the expo hall starts Sunday at 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and then also Monday morning from 7 to 10, and 7 a.m. to 10. If you don't have a extravagant booth and you live in Orlando, setting up Monday morning is usually the best play. It makes it simple, and you don't have to come down to the hotel on a Sunday. So, but that's completely up to you. We have a lot of fun things we do Sunday night at the hotel too. So if anybody's staying there, you can look for some of the events that are around there. They do pre-conference sessions, so the attendees do start filtering in on Sunday with different things that they are able to do. Monday is a full day. The expo hall opens at 11 a.m. and it closes at 7 p.m. So it's a nice long day in the expo hall, with the last couple hours being our opening grand reception from 5:30 to 7 in the expo hall, and that draws a lot of attendees in. The attendees, when they arrive and register, they, in their packages, get drink tickets for this event. So, and we put bars and different foods and things like that throughout the expo hall where they can come in, and it's a very, very popular event, and it's a great way to close or open up the conference, but also really meet some outstanding attendees, a real good networking opportunity. Tuesday is more of the same. The expo hall opens at 9 a.m. and we do close down at 4. I'll go a little bit more into this later, but those are the hours. If for any reason we just ask that you do not shut down or start packing up until 4 o'clock. It's in all your contracts as well that you guys have put with us, and we just appreciate that very, very much. We do prize giveaways and things like that starting at 3:15, but we really appreciate if you could just wait till 4 o'clock. If anybody has any issues there, please let me know before the conference, so we don't have to deal with that during Tuesday, and I appreciate that very much. Once that's closed, that's pretty much all for the sponsors and exhibitors. Tuesday night, there's a networking event at our Great Gatsby party, which takes place Tuesday night. And if you're a sponsor and exhibitor and don't know if you want to stay for that, if you want to network, that is an outstanding place to meet more people. It's a well-attended event, and the HR professionals that we've dealt with over the years at that party, they become very much more easier to talk to sometimes in that type of environment, and so you'd be surprised how many good people you can meet at that event as well. So just some fun facts about some penguins. All right. I'm going to just skip through a lot of this stuff. This is a lot of stuff for the attendees with the pre-conference sessions and things like that. On Monday, if anybody wants to, there's a morning boot camp workout at 5:45 a.m. sign up and 6 a.m. to 6:30. That'll get your blood flowing a little bit. But that is one of our sponsors actually is running that, and that should be a really, really interesting event and potentially a very good networking opportunity. Tuesday here's the different things going on Tuesday, but we have outstanding keynote speakers this year. Monday is Dan Rather, Tuesday is Molly Fletcher. It just is a fantastic draw to get a lot of great attendees to this thing. And then once general sessions are over, that's when the expo hall opens and so forth, and the filing in begins, and it works out really, really well. The Great Gatsby experience is from 8 p.m. till 12, and that's the Tuesday night event. And Wednesday, again, for anybody that's around, there's a lot of different things going on, but everything pretty much is over or right after lunch. So for the attendees, but for exhibitors and sponsors, everything's closed down at 4 o'clock on Tuesday. All right, things to know. Self-parking's $5 a day, and that's very important. If you're going to valet, it's $26, and so forth. So they'll, no matter what the signs say, it's $5, and you'll have no problem finding spots. For the most part, if you do, there'll be people there to direct you to where any overflow is. Wi-Fi, yeah, will be available in the expo hall, and that's a really big thing. If there's anybody out there that wants to sponsor that, I still need a sponsor for the Wi-Fi. I will cut a deal of the year. Just email me after this presentation and so forth. And what that would get you would be anytime anybody logs on to their app or anywhere in the hall, we can message whatever you want to that person about your company before they have access to Wi-Fi. Dress codes is very business casual, and most of you have been to conferences, so you know that whole routine. Programs, I'm just going to skip over that. All this information is available at hrfloridaconference.com. If you want to get down and see all the different levels of instruction and development and so forth that is available for the attendees. It is a outstanding program this year, so we have a lot of people coming. The conference app is important, and every, uh, all the sponsors and exhibitors, the information that you've put in Map Your Show is the information that's going to appear on the conference app. The big thing that I've noticed over the years, the last couple of years anyway, is making sure that you pick your categories. So if you're a training and development company, make sure that you have that designation in Map Your Show under categories. So when people look up training and development, your company will appear. It'll appear naturally anyway, and it'll appear by alphabetical order, it'll appear by name, it'll appear by last name, but a lot of different ways to look it up, but a lot of people look up things by categories. Insurance, drug screening, things like that. Rewards. That's not important. Again, the hall Monday opens right at 11, closes at 7. The expo hall grand opening receptions from 5:30 to 7, and then right at 7 it closes. Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Is the hours. At 3:15 we're going to begin drawing for prizes. On stage at 3:15, and we'll come around, my staff will come around and get this information from you Monday and also probably Tuesday morning. But if you have a prize that's valued over $300 and you would like to give it away on the main stage at 3:15, I'll have you fill out a piece of paper, and then we'll line you up about 3:10 on Tuesday, and then bring you up, and you can pull the winner or bring the winner up with the prize. And typically that's a well-attended event by the attendees. So usually the prize winner's right there, and you can hand it to them, take pictures for your social media or whatever the case might be, and it's a really good thing. It's only for prizes though, $300 and above, and we'll talk a little bit about that, or you'll see us come around and ask you if you have any of those types of things, or you can bring it to us as well. This is the entertainment we already talked about, the boot camp we've already talked about. This year we're trying something also very interesting, and we'll see how this works, but we're doing a discussion den, and this is an opportunity at registration. You'll see a board, and on that board it'll be a topic board. So say you're an expert in workers' compensation, or you're an expert in employee incentives, or you're an expert in virtually anything. You can put a topic on that board, and the attendees will vote on what they want to potentially hear more about, and we'll take the top 4 or 5 topics, get a room set aside, a time set aside, and then everyone can go there and meet and have a discussion about whatever that topic is. It isn't necessarily leading a topic on workers' compensation. I don't need it's your idea, but it's really just to be part of a group discussion. And if that's what you do, you can certainly network with individuals, and it potentially could bring out some really good ideas, as well as some business by meeting people that in a different type of way. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. But that board, that topic board, will be at registration, and then once everybody votes a little bit on it and we get the top topics, then we'll assign those rooms, and then all that information will be not only posted around, but it also be via the app. The app is going to have all those types of announcements and information and whatnot. Our charity this year is the Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranches. There's a lot of information on our website about that, and we're very excited to be able to, with the silent auctions and all the different things that we're doing, meeting these folks will also be there. We're very excited about them being part of this year's charity. So, and you can find out more information about that. The food, everyone always asks about food. Food is great. With your registration, you do have 2 lunch tickets. And at different levels of sponsorship, you get a couple more. But if you do want to buy additional lunch tickets, they're $45. You can do that on the website. Or you can go to one of these places. The Harvest Bistro is typically where everybody goes for lunch, and I can promise you will spend less than $45 at lunch there than buying an extra lunch ticket. So if you can break away from the expo hall, that is an outstanding option and a much more inexpensive option than the $45 sandwich with the apple. Well, actually, the lunches are really good. So I've always told people I would never spend $45 for that particular lunch when there's other things out there. So you guys, there's all kinds of local attractions, and this is more geared at the attendee, but if anybody wants to know anything about that, we'll have some people. Actually, I think there'll be a book in your bag with all the different, not only attractions, but discounts and things like that you can get. There is a silent auction again this year, and if you guys want to participate, or if you have any items that you want to donate for the silent auction, we really would appreciate it. The silent auction part of our thing goes towards the foundation that helps with scholarships for HR. But I'd love to have you guys participate, either bidding on stuff, or if you do have something that HR, this HR crowd would think would be something they'd want, and you'd like to donate it. You can do that and just go right to the silent auction, and they'll put a bid sheet up there for you. We really do appreciate any donations. So and you guys have been great over the years. So we raised a lot of money with this thing. We're very excited about that. The ambassador is Manny the Manatee. Manny had tons of pictures taken. He has his own Twitter account and so forth. You'll see a lot of Manny around. And if you guys want to get some public relations or social media attention, tag Manny with any posts that you have with your company and your company's logo and things like that. And you can really, a lot of people follow this feed. So, take a picture with your booth and Manny the Manatee, and you'd be surprised. Make sure you hashtag HR Florida 16 in everything that you do. And then I'm not exactly sure, and Heather probably knows exactly. I think I'm not sure what the Twitter handle for Manny is, but we can get that at the end here for you. So that's about what we have for the conference. If you guys have some questions, Heather, do you have some questions from people?
We had a couple come in so far that I've responded to, but just to share with the rest of the crowd, the copy of the slides is currently loaded with the GoToWebinar now. So second from the bottom in the control panel, it says handouts. You can download a copy of the slides there if you want to get more information. As I said, we are also recording today's webinar, so once the recording is available, we will have the slides and the full recording posted on the website, and we'll also send out an email alert to you. With any other questions coming in, you can raise your hand if you'd like me to unmute your line, or feel free to type in your questions or in the chat section. Don't be shy.
If anybody wants to sponsor the Wi-Fi, raise your hand, please.
Okay, well, I'm not seeing anything come in right now. If you do have any questions that pop up later, feel free to reach out to Roger or I. Oh, here we have one coming in. Will the badges that have been purchased be available for pickup on Sunday?
Yeah, the badges, great question. Actually, the registration booth for the sponsors and exhibitors this year will not be inside the exhibit hall. It will be its own section at the main registration area outside the exhibit hall where the attendees also register, but we will have our own section for just sponsors and exhibitors. And when you get there, you'll get your packet, and it will have the badges ready to rock and roll. And if anything should change with the badges that were originally put in, we can get that changed for you very quickly.
Okay, next question. Are we still able to make changes to an attendee name badge?
Yes, you can. We still have not pulled the list, and we won't do that until, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not sure when that deadline is, but yes, go into Map Your Show, log in, and make any changes to your badges that you like, at least for the next week.
Yeah, I would say at least the next week, possibly longer, but the sooner you can get those in, the better. And Roger had asked about the Twitter handle for Manny the Manatee, and that Twitter handle is at Manny, MANNY, HRFL16. So again, that's MANNY, HRFL16 to follow Manny directly, or you can just use the hashtag HRFL16. Okay, another question coming in. We ordered the Lead Plus business card scanning app. When should we expect to receive it?
You will get the, actually that's a good question. On that lead form that you filled out, it's a third-party group that we use that we like a lot. There's a number there that you can call them. You're going to have to call them and ask them that direct question on the app piece, because I would think you'd be able to download that immediately, but I don't know, because I don't know how they do that. So you'd have to, they do have a number on that piece of paper down on the right bottom hand corner. You can call them for customer service.
And the provider will be on site starting at around 2 p.m. on Sunday, and they'll be there throughout the conference. So if you have any questions, they'll have a booth set up in the back corner next to the sponsor exhibitor information desk and the SHRM Foundation silent auction, and they'll be happy to assist with any questions on site. Okay, next question. If we will receive an attendee list before and after the event, what is the added benefit to having the lead retrieval system purchased?
No, that's always a good question. The attendee list is the pre and the posted list are for anybody a bronze sponsor and above, and exhibitors can always upgrade for $1,500 to a bronze before the end of the before the conference starts, if they wanted to get the pre-list. The post list is $1,500 for exhibitors if they want that. The reason there's a lead retrieval and a list is every company has a different way of doing things. And on a lead retrieval system, most of them, and this one included, you're able to add notes in once you scan a badge of what you talked about, and it keeps all that information well for you. But it really is personal preference. You will get every single belly button that registers on the post list, but the lead retrieval will be all the people that actually came by your booth, and then any notes that you want to make about what you guys talked about and potential sales or whatever the case might be.
And some of the sponsors and exhibitors use that system as their way to select the winner if they're giving away a prize at their booth. So like Roger just said, that way you know who actually visited your booth versus who was an attendee at the conference. So that's another reason why some people make that selection. Next question coming in. For the mailing list, we are allowed to send out one pre-show email. Do we just send that directly, or does it need to be approved prior?
just follow the guidelines that were sent out with that. And no, it doesn't need to be approved. Just know that the biggest mistake a lot of individuals make is if you don't have, or the one I've seen that's just the worst one you could make is blind carbon copying everybody, but it really isn't a blind carbon copy, and the people that receive the email see every single person that got it. So just make sure you have a good email system that can be used there, and you're also not allowed to use the HR Florida logo in those emails as well.
But please feel free to use the HR Florida name, and please list it as the HR Florida Conference and Expo. We've certainly seen a number of emails over the years where it was SHRM Florida or some other version of the name, which is not correct, and the attendees know the name of the show that they're in. Next question coming in: if we are a silver sponsor, will we receive a post list, or is it still the $1,500 charge?
No, the post list for sure for silver sponsors, and anybody that's a sponsor over exhibitors are paid $1,750 to be there. The next level is bronze sponsor, and anybody bronze and above is automatically gets the pre and the post list. No extra cost.
Excellent. All right, that's all the questions that I see right now. We'll leave it open for just a moment longer in case anything else comes in. All right, well, as I said, if you do have any questions leading up to the event, please feel free to reach out to Roger and the wonderful sponsor and exhibitor team, or feel free to call or email me directly. My email and phone number is all over the website, and happy to answer any questions. And we look forward to seeing you all in just a few short weeks. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Yep, bye-bye.